Peace, love, and light, everyone. I hope all is well. This is your girl, Serena, and welcome. Welcome to Poetry, Publishing, and Literary Artistry. For those who don't know who I am a self-published author. I'm a poet, a spoken word artist. I'm also a health and wellness writer. I also teach people about the self-publishing process. I have classes on self-publishing. And today we are going to do the first part of audiobooks, the research and preparation. Yeah. So I divided this up into two or three parts to learn from. And after this, the next thing you're going to see is actually a snippet of me recording one of my books. I have two of my poetry books on audiobooks. I have Reconstruction, Pieces of Life, Volume 1, the 10th anniversary edition. And I also have Artist Paradise, Pieces of Life, Volume 3, recorded on audiobooks. And you can find those on Audible. So I figured let me help out those who are interested in learning more about the process. Some people who are self-published, like myself, decide to create audiobooks. The one thing to do is to listen to your audience. At first, I didn't always think about audiobooks, but when I went live quite a few times on my social media platforms, I have my YouTube channel under Divine Right, which is my spoken word name. And people asked for audiobooks. They wanted me to record my books and for me to narrate them. So that was something I had to really think about and pray on and do the research. So the first part is, deciding whether or not I wanted to work with a company, a sound engineer to get it completely done or to do it myself. Um, and then maybe work with someone who could do the edits. Unless you know how to do that part. Some people are very savvy and can record the book themselves, record anything themselves. They could go back in, they could do the edits. Um, but after doing a lot of research, seeing what those edits entail, how do you wipe out background noises, for example, or if you're recording and then you hit your hand on something and it's like a little thump, how do you clean all that up, right? So I decided what was best for me was to find a sound engineer that specializes in recording audiobooks or an independent or a small company. So I looked up some, and we'll talk about more of the ones I found later. But I decided to actually reach out to a poetry group that I belong to on Facebook. And I said, hey, if anyone knows of a producer who could help me out with my audiobook, I would really love suggestions. And this producer's name came up so many times in the post. And I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to call him. And we had a great conversation. I looked up, just from hearing all of them, it was tons of great reviews. And they were references. And he asked me if I wanted more references. But I had quite a few references. But you want to find a sound engineer that specializes in recording audiobooks. Not all producers or sound engineers um, know or have done this before. So you want to ask those questions. Have you recorded audiobooks? What is your experience? And if they have not, okay, then it's up to you to say, all right, well, maybe I could be the first and see how it goes. um, you want to see what the process is like and what their process is like. Are you going to be recording in a booth, for example? Are you going to, be recording? Is it just going to be you and the producer, an engineer? Is it going to be other people helping? How do they set the tone uh, for for recording? So for me, I actually was able to do what we call a sample recording. And I met with the producer, Maurice Carroll. Shout out to Maurice. And it was nice because for 30 minutes we just walked through what would it be like. The one thing I had to realize that this is way different than reading a poem or two. You are reading an entire book. Okay, you're reading your entire book from front to back if you decide to be the narrator. And I really liked I loved actually the environment. It was not a closed in booth. The way he had things set up, and you'll see in the recording, I had the headphones on, the mic, and then there was a way to soundproof the area. The whole room was soundproof pretty much, and it came out really well. But you want to see what the process is like and what their process is like, and if that will actually go well with you. So, something to ask yourself: do you want someone else to tell the story or have someone else's voice? Do you want to be the narrator of your book, or do you want someone else to tell the story? And there are many authors out there, self-published and not self-published, who decided to get a narrator to narrate their books. They were like, you know what? This is just a task I can't take on. Or some books are just so highly emotional. Talking with other authors, they were like, we didn't know if we could get through the whole book. So some decide to choose a narrator because they're too emotionally attached. Well, every author is emotionally attached to their book, but some are so attached that they basically tell themselves, I can't get through this whole book. And one, like, I just cannot be able, I can't read the whole book. They know that there will be a lot of emotions that will come up. There might be a lot of tears that come up. And some are just not up to the task. It's a huge project to record your audiobook. It really is. And again, it's not like you're reading for me, the two books I have that are recorded are poetry books. So it's not like I'm just saying two or three or a few poems. I'm literally reading all the way from the dedication to the very last page. So really sit with yourself and see if this is something that you want to do. If you can take on reading your entire book, um, or if you would like a narrator. And we'll talk more about the process at another time, because some people always ask me, do you do the whole book in one sitting? It depends on the length of the book. But again, we'll talk about that in another time. 'Cause that's could be a whole other part. Um, so ask yourself. So after you check the references, you look at reviews, you figure out if you want to record yourself, if you want to work with a sound engineer or a company, um, or if you want to have it narrated, or if you're going to do the narration, really figure all this out. And then if you do want to get it narrated, um, research the narrators. You want the right person to tell the story. You want the right person reading your book. You want them to just capture the essence of your book. So yeah, there's some research to do and some preparation before you even get in the booth, okay? Or you're not in a booth like I was, before you even sit down with the mic and start recording, okay? So I don't want people to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this. You can do this. You can. There are places where you can find narrators. There's places where you can find sound engineers. I said mine. I worked with Maurice Carroll out of the outside the DMV area. The DMV, for those who don't know, is the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. But there are many producers and engineers out there that do work with authors. They do work with, those who want to tell the story, tell their story, read their books, and know how to edit an audiobook, how to go back, work with the author, say, hey, this didn't quite come out right, or you as an author, once you get that wonderful recording, I know I myself listened to the entire recording with a notebook and listened um, to see if there were any glitches. But again, that's going to be another part for another day. I wanted to leave you all with the research and prep. Um, Feel free to reach out to me if you have more questions about audiobooks part one, the research and preparation. I will be back to share more of my story, more of my journey with audiobook recording. So you can find me on social media outlets at Divine Right, and that is DivineWryte. Don't forget that Y. I also have a website, serenawills.com, SerenaWills.com. There you can check me out. You can see if I have publishing classes coming up, self-publishing classes. I teach poetry classes, different forms of poetry. How do you do that? We do some deep dives about the audiobook research and preparation in my self-publishing classes. And I'm also a publishing coach for those who just kind of need their handheld or they just want more one-on-one time to just figure things out. Reach out to me through my website, serenawills.com. I also have a YouTube channel underneath Divine Right, DivineWryte. All right, so go ahead, start the research, see if this is something you want to do. If it's something you're like, I don't know if I want to do it, but you have an audience or people saying, we really want to hear your book, we want to hear it. And then for those who are saying they want to hear you narrate your book, you have to really sit with yourself and say, am I up to it? And even if I'm not up to it, am I called to do it? And you can. If I can do it, I know you can do it. All right, that's my time for today. Take good care, everyone. One love, and bye for now. Take care. For more information on events, book signings, and how to book the artist, which is me, please go to www.serenawills.com. That's SERENA wills.com. If you would like more information on my health and wellness coaching practice, Divine Right Wellness, please visit my website at divineryte.com. And Right is spelled WRYTE. Or you can go to Facebook at facebook.com/Divine Right Wellness. Also, join me on social media. My Facebook is facebook.com/Serena Wills, all one word. LinkedIn, Serena Wills. My link tree is linktree/Serena Wills, and all other social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube under Divine Right. And that's spelled DIVINEWRYTE.